Hey guys, I probably have 20 or more multi-tools. I carry this Leatherman Wave. I've had the same one for probably 20 plus years. I carry it daily on my belt. I keep multi-tools in all of our cars. I keep them in range bags, keep them in tackle boxes, and I honestly use them practically every day, whether it's the pliers or the scissors, or something like that. I usually don't use the knife because I have another knife on me, but they do get used pretty much every day. So the folks over at NEXTORCH sent me their newest multi-tool to kind of check out here. It's called the Pioneer, and it has a couple features on it that I have never seen on any multi-tool. So I'm actually kind of interested to see how they work myself. But as we can see, it's got 14 tools on it. I figure we'll do a real quick show you around the box and an unboxing. Looks like we got a couple different languages there. There's some of the specifications. We'll go over more here in a minute. Some of the stuff on it, but let's get this out of the box. We'll see how it comes here. So it looks like we have a sheath, and there are some instructions right there. Quickly show you guys the manual. And it looks like their warranty is 10 years. Alright, so this is the sheath or holster that comes with it. Looks like we got a belt loop, button snap on it. Can be worn horizontally as well, or obviously vertically. It is branded, which I always appreciate that. Velcro closure. It is very rigid, very stiff. That would be too stiff for my preference on my belt. This thing is like super hard. There's almost no give to it at all. All right, let's get into the Pioneer multi-tool. As you can see, it does have a unique finish to it. This one is stainless. You can see it's a completely different color than that. And this one is black, and it's actually a different color than that. They're calling it a blackening and stone wash finish. It's very unique. I really like it. It kind of reminds me of like some old school wrenches. Grab you guys some quick measurements and a weight. These are kind of unofficial numbers, so we're at basically 4¼ inches long. Try to find the widest spot here. Maybe right here. We're at 1.43 inches wide. And I'm going to go with the clip. We're at right about 1 inch in depth. And just for comparison, it is bigger in almost every dimension than my Wave. Again, this is the original Wave. This does not have any type of screwdriver bits and stuff like that, so the newer ones are probably bigger than this. Weight on the NEXTORCH, 9.5 ounces, and it feels heavier than the Wave, the original one. So yeah, 7.9 ounces. So before we start going over all of the different tools on this, I will say in my opinion, the Pioneer is kind of designed for police officers, maybe for EMTs as well, and obviously anybody else who carries a multi-tool, but there are going to be 2 or 3 tools on here that a normal person would probably never use. All right, let's start off with one of the outside tools. I've never seen anything like this on a multi-tool before. So you have a little lock and unlock. And it looks like we slide this down, and this thing here just popped out. This is actually a plastic handcuff cutter, or like a zip tie cutter. Spring loaded, and there's actually like a blade that's in here. I'll be interested to try that out. So right there is the edge of the blade. I see it now. And then this thing comes down on top of that. That's very interesting. So I assume you got to push this in to lock it. Yep. So that tool is clearly designed for police officers. But I will say I use zip ties practically every week, and I always have to go try to find some kind of snips or scissors or something to cut those. That would actually be very handy for me. Also on the outside, we have a pocket clip. It's not fully deep carry, so you are going to have that much sticking up out of your pocket, and I'll show you guys that here later. But they do consider that a tool. Number 3 is one of the main tools on this Pioneer, and it's something I'm really interested in trying out, but it's shears. And they are massive, spring-loaded, and these are supposed to be like cutting shears. Again, an EMT or a police officer, if you need to cut a shear off of somebody to get an AED or something like that on them, or if they're bleeding, you need to find where they're bleeding at. These are supposed to be phenomenal shears. The 4th tool is this little ruler back here. It's in centimeters, goes up to 8 centimeters. Number 5, again, in my opinion, this is geared more toward police and EMTs, but is this little tool right here, and they are calling it a strap cutter. You can see that there's an angled blade right there. So in my opinion, this is to kind of go around a seat belt, and you pull and it'll slice right through it. You could use this on ratchet straps and other type of tie downs and stuff, but I think it's really designed for seat belts. Number 6 on here is a slotted or straight head flathead screwdriver. This is a replaceable screwdriver. It's just a slip joint right here. But you can actually open, so you can see how it doesn't go all the way back to like fully straight, which is kind of weird. But if you open that strap cutter back up a little bit, you see how that just like popped in? So now it's kind of like free moving. Well, then when you close this back down, then it locks it at that fully straight position. And now you cannot push it back closed, like it's fully locked in there. So in order to close it, you have to kind of put that strap cutter like at a 90 degree, and then that becomes loose and you can close them back down. So even though the scissors are the main tool in the middle, this actually does have a set of pliers on it as well. It's number 7, so you can close this back up, and then it's still a really decent size set of pliers here. You see we have the almost like needle tip and then the regular pliers. So the pliers and the Needlenose were 7 and 8. 9 and 10 are these replaceable wire cutters. They look the same to me, but they list them as 2 different things. They say one's just wire cutters and one are hard wire cutters. But you can see there is a little set screw in there, and you can pull it out and replace those. And we'll see how those cut here in a bit. Number 11 on the tools you can get from the outside. It's this knife blade here. Not very long. I don't know, maybe only 2 inches or so. I don't know exactly what the blade steel is. I was trying to find it out, and it just lists for the entire tool. It says that there's 20 CR13, 30 CR13, and YG8 for the materials used. But it is a little thumb stud, and it looks like it's a liner lock. So we're going to push that. So that actually does lock up pretty well. Almost no side-to-side play, no up and down at all. So that liner does work pretty well. Number 12 is on the other side, and it's a saw blade. Same thing, liner lock right there. Pretty decent teeth on it. That seems to be a little bit longer than what the knife blade was. Yep, it is. Number 13 is something, again, that probably only EMTs or maybe police officers would probably use. This little thing right here. This is actually an oxygen tank wrench. Most oxygen tanks on the top of it have like this rectangular shaped little piece. And basically you put this on it and then you turn it to open up the tank. I actually worked in healthcare for like 25 plus years, and it's just a little plastic little wrench that hangs usually on the side of a tank, but those things would get lost all the time. They're inexpensive, but you're always having to run to try to find one. This would actually be nice to have. And finally, number 14 is up on top here. It is a bottle opener. All right, so let's check out some of the tools and see how they actually work. I don't have any of the big, huge, thick zip ties like police officers would use, like handcuffs. But we'll try these and just see what it does here. Oh, that snaps to it like it's nothing. So let's put a couple of these together. Try to make it thicker. So I got 2 of them stacked. We'll see how that cuts through it. Oh, again, like it's nothing. Yeah, those are pretty sweet. I will actually get a lot of use out of that. All right, I'm interested in trying out these scissors here next. I'm gonna use that same zip tie stuff. Yeah, it just slices right through that like nothing. Let's go to some rope. Yep, no problems at all with that. These things are nice. I don't have any jeans to cut up. We'll try some shirts here. I got it kind of wadded up. Oh yeah, that just, oh my God, that slices right through it so easily. So I got multiple layers here. And it just goes right through that like it's nothing. Let's try some wire with the scissors. Took a little more force, but man, it sliced it completely clean. That's nice. Let's try some plastic. A little more work on that, but it is cutting through it. You can see there, made a nice cut. Got some double corrugated cardboard. So this stuff is really thick. And no problem at all cutting through it. Yeah, these scissors are the real deal. They're super sharp. And the way that this handle is designed, you can get the full thing like in the palm of your hand. You get a lot of leverage on it. Let's check out those wire cutters, see how well they do. I honestly almost think that the scissors did as well, if not better. But those are working fine. We'll check out the knife blade next. This is just standard copy paper. Fairly sharp. It could probably use a little better edge on it. It's not the cleanest cut in the world. Check it out with some of this rope, see how much pressure I have to put on it. Yeah, it definitely could use a little bit sharper edge. I'm having to pull fairly hard. It's going through it, no problems, but I do have to pull kind of hard. We'll see if it's sharp enough to shave with. I don't think it is. It actually did cut some of those off. Sure did. Check out that knife blade on some cardboard. See how it slices through it. Fairly clean. Try to go all the way down through it. Yeah, that actually does a pretty decent job. For those of you wondering, that's how much of it is going to stick up out of your pocket. Okay, so I've been carrying and using this Pioneer for about 3 weeks now, and just want to share some of my thoughts with you. First thing I'll say is I absolutely love the looks of it. This black stonewash, it just looks cool. Like when I compare it to one of these all stainless steel ones, I just love the finish on this. Again, I've only had it for a few weeks, but I can tell that the build quality on this is excellent. It just feels like a premium tool when you pick it up and then use it. The scissors on this are without a doubt the best and most useful scissors that I've ever used on a multi-tool. And again, I probably have at least 20 multi-tools. I also really like that they were able to incorporate the full-size scissors and full-size pliers on the same tool. Very ingenious. I like that it has a few tools that I've never seen on a multi-tool before, such as these handcuff or zip tie cutters. A few things that I didn't like or feel like could be improved is I do not care for this sheath at all. I carry it on a belt, and even though it has a pocket clip, it's too bulky. Any of them are too bulky for me. Even like this smaller Wingman, it has a pocket clip, and I would never carry this in my pocket. I always use a sheath for them. And with this particular sheath, when you put that multi-tool in it, the whole thing is just so stiff. Like it feels almost like a football or something. There's no give whatsoever. And when you try to put that on your belt, you really feel that. Like it kind of hits your sides. It kind of grabs on your shirt. And so for the past 3 weeks, I've been carrying it in this significantly smaller with a whole lot more give sheath, and it fits in here perfectly fine. I've been carrying a small little flashlight with it there, and this now has way more give, and you don't feel it hitting and riding on you so bad. So I'd like to see a different holster. This one's of really good quality, but it's just way too stiff, for me anyhow. Another con for me is that the Pioneer does not have a Phillips screwdriver bit anywhere on it, and I actually do use a Phillips quite frequently. Another thing I didn't necessarily care for is how the flathead screwdriver won't go all the way out unless you take the other tool and bring it so far up, and then it goes out. It's kind of weird, but you can use it, you know, like this, or you could open this up if you needed to like extend it, you know, to a longer reach. But it's just kind of weird that you got to use 2 tools to get it to that position. So my particular sample, the knife blade was a little dull right out of the box. I just hit it on with the stone a couple of times, and I don't know if I had a couple little burrs on it or what, but it seems like it has a really decent edge on it now. And finally, one other suggestion: even though I don't pocket carry, I do think that a slightly deeper pocket clip would be beneficial for a lot of people, because there's still a lot of the tool that sticks up out of your pant pocket. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, it does have a 10-year warranty, and you do have to scan and register your product. So at the time of me recording this video, these are coming in around $100, and they are available on Amazon. And just for comparison, the Leatherman Wave nowadays with like the tool bits and all that stuff are about $120. The Leatherman Surge is like $150. Even this like Wingman, I think it's like $70 some now. When I bought this years ago, it's $25. So I think if you're any type of first responder, police, EMS, fire, this is a fantastic option for you. I think if you're somebody who prioritizes scissors over almost any other tool that you use, another fantastic option for you. Overall, I do think it's a really high quality tool, and it would serve most people well. However, there's probably some tools on it that you would never need or use, such as that oxygen tank wrench and maybe even the handcuff cutter. So anyways, if you want to find out more information on it, I will leave that Amazon link in the video description. I'll also leave NEXTORCH's website link down there as well. So if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.